Hey everybody, Anthony here, and this is the Hollywood Burn, where I go over the garbage that Hollywood is currently churning out so you don't have to watch it. And today, we are going over The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster, which is a real movie on Disney Plus. I did not make up that title, and it is exactly what you think it is from that title. Just about everybody watching this is somewhat familiar with the tale of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Well, the entire concept of this movie is basically a version of that story, a modern African American version of Frankenstein, which means as a white guy, I'm probably not allowed to criticize it, but I am going to do that because there are a lot of red flags with this movie. First of which, the director's name is Bomani J. Story. Yes, he calls his movie The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster, and he calls himself Bomani J. Story. So how good is this movie really going to be? That said, I don't like to just crap on movies, I more just like to make fun of them because I find it entertaining, but I think the guy did try to do his best. Um, and I also like to tell you who this movie's for, who I think it's for, who I think will enjoy it. Um, Basically, if you've ever used the words black girl magic unironically, this movie might be for you. I think those are the people that would enjoy it. Also, if you like maybe low budget horror movies, you would maybe enjoy this movie. Honestly, those are really the only types of people that I think would maybe be into this. Everybody else, I think, would not have too much fun with this one, if we're being honest. But anyway, now that we've got the introductory stuff out of the way, this is the part where I recap the movie, throwing in some of my own jokes with some of the stuff that's in the movie. So from this point on, I am putting up a spoiler alert. Like I said, there's a lot of red flags in the movie for me. And the first one comes right away at the start of the movie. He makes the choice to start off with beginning narration, and within that narration, the first sentence in the movie is, "I heard my mom's heart stop when I was 8. She was just 5 years away from being a doctor." Which makes you kind of go, really? Come on now. Like, from both the title and that line, you know exactly what you're in for. Those words were spoken by this character right here, whose name is Vicaria, or maybe it's Vicaria, I don't know, which is kind of messed up because she actually made a whole point to call somebody who was mispronouncing it racist, so I guess she wouldn't like me very much. But if you thought that was the end of her bullshit, that opening line, you were quite mistaken, because in one of the beginning scenes, she is talking with another kid and they're teasing her, and they say to her, "Oh, you think you're so smart because you go to that white school?" And she says, "No, the white school is smart because I go there." I didn't know that's how schools work. I didn't know that this girl could just show up to a remedial math class, and then all the students within the class could just tell you that the area of the triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. Now at school, the angry black girl has a teacher called Mrs. Bitch, because even though that Vicaria is a little know-it-all and she does bring her know-it-all attitude to school, this lady is not cut out to be a teacher, because Vicaria starts a little argument about something in class, and the teacher, like, right away threatens to call security on this young black girl, like, ridiculously early. Like, it's not even questionable that, like, that's an okay thing to do. This teacher is definitely somebody that would call the cops on some kids that are selling lemonade if their skin is darker than vanilla bean. At this point in the movie, we're about 12 minutes in, and for some reason Disney Plus decides to put an ad break in there, and they're really, really daring you to turn this shit off. I didn't notice this when I was watching the movie, but when I was looking it over in my notes, this movie's very sort of split up, I guess, between more science fiction-y scenes and scenes that are more social commentary scenes. So, like I said, the movie's based on Frankenstein, and there's those type of scenes, and then the more modern take is, it's not really interwoven at all. It's just like science fiction scenes, commentary scenes. I am making fun of Vicaria, but the truth is she is pretty smart. I mean, she can do all sorts of scientific experiments that I wouldn't be capable of doing. In particular, she is obsessed, yes, that's right, obsessed with death and dead tissue, and she believes that death is a disease that can be cured, and coincidentally only cured by her, because she's the only one smart enough. So instead of joining the chess club or Future Business Leaders of America, she spends most of her time after school working on experiments with dead body tissue. Meanwhile, she does have to deal with the very real issues surrounding her community. But the thing is, her community is the suburbs. And this movie, because it's dealing with real issues, those real issues are more in cities. So that's a point against this movie. In real life, it is a part of the history of African Americans that they do have to deal with uh, government projects, and that drug dealers come in and they take over the community. Well, a drug dealer has taken over her community, but the thing is, the community is a suburb, and there's this hill, this suburban hill. I guess you can maybe say it's a cul-de-sac. I don't know, not really. But there's a hill somewhere central in the community that the drug dealers, that's their home base. They put a couch there. It's just a couch, outdoors, and the drug dealers just hang out on that couch all day. And it kind of flies in the face of the point that the filmmaker is trying to make, because that's just not a real thing, that a couch would just be outside, criminals are doing criminal things, and nobody does shit about it. In the city, that's a little more believable because the city is just so densely populated, but this is just like a load of crap. The angry black girl does have her run-ins with the drug lord. He is the main antagonist of the movie, but his view is that the control that he exerts over the community is good because he provides protection over a bigger bad. When it comes to the social scenes in this movie, Vicaria has this friend who, in the first scene she's in, you they don't show her body, so you don't know that she's pregnant. But then, like later, they show her, and she is, and like the girl looks like 16. And the thing is, it doesn't look like a pillow in there. It looks like the director was so committed to this movie, he really got a teenager pregnant just to be authentic. But the pregnant girl starts going off about how history is fake and that, it's written by the victors, and that, a lot of the actual history is just sort of uh, falsified by white people for various reasons, which, if we're being honest, isn't completely untrue, probably. I would say history's messy. It's just that, if you're watching this, most people watching this probably don't want to hear that sort of thing. But again, that's maybe it, that is something you want to say. While this argument is going on, it later gets interrupted by a knock at the door. It's police, and everything immediately gets very tense to demonstrate the relationship between black people and the police. But it makes no poignant point whatsoever, because afterwards they immediately, once the tension is broken, they just start laughing at some bullshit. Now, it's hard to know who specifically Vicaria blames for her problems, specifically the death of her mother. But as for the death of her brother, that's the reason why she has such tension with the drug lord. And it turns out she is the smartest person at that white school, because she does reanimate this guy, her brother. He becomes reanimated as a semi-lucid monster who immediately kills one of the drug dealer's underlings, and that puts a target on Vicaria's back. Then that enforcer is killed in a completely separate location from what is going on. But anyway, one of those people that was killed during the monster spree was the pregnant girl, and Vicaria realizes she has to reverse her procedure and take away her brother's life that she misses. And she's able to apply her knowledge to reanimate the pregnant girl, who gives birth to, apparently, it was this guy's baby the whole time. I did not know that until the end of the movie. But anyway, that's a poorly summed up version of The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. You can check it out if you want to for yourself. I don't know why you would, but yeah, that's the movie. Thank you for watching. Please leave a thoughtful comment down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.